Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk. Back into the video today. Today, I'm going to be giving my 2023 MLB predictions, as this opening day is tomorrow, and I'm ready for it, especially for my Astros. But I'm going to go over my predictions for MVP and records and stuff. I'm not going to go over exact wins and losses, but I am going to go over my division winners and my teams that I have making the playoffs for both AL and NL. Let's get into it. We're going to start with the AL Central. I have, in a really close one, the Minnesota Twins winning the AL Central. I think it's going to come down right until the end of the season between them and the Guardians. I think the Twins beat it out and get into the playoffs I don't think with that great of a record, though, but I think Correa and Brian Buxton and some of the other guys are good enough to get them in the postseason. And then to the AL East, this one's really hard. The Rays, they've gotten a little bit worse. The Orioles, they've gotten better. The Red Sox are in tank mode. And then it's between the Yankees and the Blue Jays for me. The Blue Jays, they get better every season. This year, they've lost a couple pieces. Teoscar Hernandez being traded. I think they did one more thing. They did something else. I can't remember. They traded for someone else. I can't remember the name. Someone from Arizona. Someone from the Diamondbacks. But this Yankees team, they re-signed Anthony Rizzo. They also signed Carlos Rendon, so their pitching is going to be way better this season. I think the Blue Jays make the playoffs, and I want to say the Orioles do as well. I'm going to pick the Orioles to make the playoffs as well, but I'm going to go with the Yankees winning the division, the AL East. Then in the AL West, this is no-brainer. I'm picking the Astros winning the AL West with an exact record of 162, because I've already did my Astros record predictions. I'm going to go with the Mariners, also making the playoffs. They've improved a lot. And then, so that is what one is. That is right there. That's 4 playoff teams, if I'm not mistaken. That's 5. I'm actually going to go with the Orioles not making it. I think the Orioles are going to become one short. I think they're going to come one short again. They were one short last year. I'm going to go with the Angels to make it in as that last wild card spot. So I got the Astros. And the Astros, Yankees, and Twins as division winners in the AL Central. And the wild cards in the AL. In the AL, I have for the wild cards the Blue Jays, the Mariners, and the Angels. If I had to predict who, by best record, I would say who probably has the best record in the probably in the AL. Probably the best record for the wild card team will probably be the Blue Jays and the Mariners. But who gets in as that 4th team in the wild card games? And one's a bye, I believe. But who wins it? I'd probably be my favorite for the Blue Jays or the Mariners, but we just have to see. Are there 7 teams in the playoffs? If there's 7 teams in the playoffs, then the Orioles would be my 7th team, but I'm not too sure on that. And then for the NL Central, I'm going to go with the division winners in the NL. This is a hard division. The Cardinals have gotten a little bit worse. So have the Brewers. So have the Reds. I got to go with the Cubs winning the division this year. They've improved a lot with hitting with Dansby Swanson. I think Dansby Swanson's going to have a huge year for the Cubs. I think Cody Bellinger's going to bounce back. I don't know if there's a bounce back, like comeback player of the year award. But I think Cody Bellinger, if he has a really good season, I think he could win that award in the NL. So in the NL Central, I do have the Cubs winning the division. And then in the NL East, hard division with the Mets, the Braves, and the Phillies and the National. I mean, not the National. Well, they're in the division, but they're not competitive. You got 3 teams who should all be division winners right here. And it's so hard to pick a winner. All these teams improve. Mets added in Justin Verlander. I got to go with the Phillies adding in Trey Turner. I got to go with the Phillies making it in as winning the division. I think they're having a huge year next season. But I am going to go with the Braves and the Mets making the playoffs as well. And then for the NL West, I'm picking the Padres to win the division. Dodgers get into playoffs as well. And that is it. So for my division winners, I got the Padres winning the West. I got the Phillies winning the East and the Cubs winning the Central. And then for your other playoff teams added in, because there's 7 teams in the playoffs. For your other teams getting in the playoffs, I got obviously the Mets and the Mets and the Braves, the Dodgers, and that's 3. So you got a list of 6 teams in total. And then for the last wild card spot, I'm gonna go with this hard one. This is a really hard one for that. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals for that last. They've gotten a little worse, but I still think they will be able to make the playoffs. So there's 7 teams. The first team gets the bye. I think it'll be really interesting to see who does what with playoffs wise. But those are my division winners and my playoff team. 7 teams on each conference to get in the playoffs. Let's go over my MVP picks for both conferences. For the Angels, I'm going to go with a repeat. I want to go for the Astros. I want to pick Yordan Alvarez. I think he's going to have a huge year. And I think the MVP is going to be like last year in the AL. I think it's going to come down to 3 players. Ohtani. Well, it was really down last year to Ohtani and Judge, but I think Yordan's going to be more into the conversation this season because there was a 1-month slump last year where Yordan was in, and he just was. It was not a good time period, and that's why he fell off from the MVP discussion. And then I don't know, it might have been August or July. Yordan had a really bad month last season, and he was in the big conversation with him and Judge. But I think it's going to be a really tight MVP case between Ohtani, Judge, and Alvarez. But I got to go with Ohtani. He's just with the pitching and the batting, and he's amazing at both. I think Ohtani wins MVP. I think the Angels make the playoffs for the first time in a while and get in. And then for the NL MVP, I got to go, and this would be a really big bounce back after not having that great of a season last year. We had a decent season, but not as expected. Juan Soto. I think Juan Soto is going to go off for the Padres next season. They're the sleeper team. I got right now, if the Padres, as a team can build a really good team, I think right now they're my World Series favorite to win this thing. And I think Juan Soto is going to have a big year for the San Diego Padres. I got him winning NL MVP. Then I went to my playoff predictions and my MVP predictions. I'm going to pick the 2 teams I have going to the World Series. I have it being the Astros and the Padres. Astros, I think they're the best team in the AL. I think the ALCS. I think it's gonna come down to the Yankees and the Astros again. Now for the NL, I think it will be the Padres and the Phillies. And the Phillies have a chance to make the World Series again. I think the Padres will shut them down, and that's a repeat. These are 2 repeats. Padres Phillies that's what it was last year. Phillies took them down. I think the Padres get revenge. Yankees, not on the other end. I don't think they get revenge. Good pitching against the Astros, but I don't think it's enough. I think the Astros win the ALCS to beat the Yankees and move on to play the World Series against the Padres. I think this is a Game 7 series between the Astros and the Padres if it happens. You got 2 firepower offenses, but the problem is the pitching for the Astros. Now, on the other end, the Padres pitching is nowhere near to what the Astros is. They have Joe Musgrove and Yu Darvish, but besides that, compared to the Astros rotation, it is not good. So in that case, I think the Astros would win in 7 against the Padres. As much as I think the Padres have such a good team to win the World Series, the pitching comparison, I think in my opinion, they would have to trade for somebody at the trade deadline to start in the rotation, to add another starter in the rotation, which could very possible happen. very possibly happen. So, if you guys have any thoughts on the video, give me your predictions for the 2023 MLB season. I'm so excited for opening day tomorrow. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.